Hello everybody, this is Craig Valine and with my good friend Scott Evans, and you are listening and watching to On the Deck. And this show is all about discussions about being the very best entrepreneur you can be and being as successful as you want to be. So good morning, Scott, how are you?
Good, Craig. Good to see you.
Good. Well, you know what, we, you and I do a lot of sitting on the deck.
It's like a fireside chat.
A fireside chat.
Deck side, tree side, oak tree side chat.
Oak trees, you know, out here. Some of the best revelations I've ever had, and some of the simplest questions I've been asked have been from my good friend Scott Evans here. So we thought we'd create a show that really kind of that highlights kind of some of those conversations that I think would benefit anybody listening or watching to this.
I think so. I think a lot of people are being told what to do when it comes to coaching, when it comes to training. And really, I think it's kind of I think it's the not correct approach. I don't want to say wrong because it does work to some degree, but I think that being told what to do, it carries with it all kinds of problems. Misestimating expectations, misestimating how much effort it's going to take to do something. I think it's better just to explain to people and tell people what you've done. If you've got bona fides in an industry, if you've created something and it launched it, right? And then tell them what you did, and then if they do what you've done, or if they have the stick-to-itiveness and the constitution to do what you've done, they're going to have, well, either less, the same, or better results. It just depends on their ability to apply sound information.
Well, let's start from the beginning here. What type of person is ideal to be coached? Now, like we go to seminars, I go to seminars a lot, but I see, after they've introduced, here's all the work you must do to be successful, and if you don't think you can do it on your own, we have this coaching program that will help you do it. Now, number one, who's most likely to get involved with those, right? Mm-hmm. And then who's most likely to succeed with those?
Well, I think that, let me approach it from this angle. I think willing students win. The issue becomes how much Kool-Aid one will drink when it comes to a particular person or a particular body of knowledge.
Right.
I think it's kind of dangerous to buy into one thing or one concept. And although that seems like being the master of the obvious, I think a lot of people kind of do that, and they get intoxicated with the potential immediate financial gain of a program or a system or a seminar. And it just takes time.
Is it sometimes maybe they feel like they'll get close to this celebrity kind of guru?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a degree of association because you have all these next level programs. You've got these how to associate with this guy or that guy. Right. I mean, the truth is it's a rarefied arena, and there are not that many people that are going to be able to associate with that high level of people. You want to associate with. What's funny is Brian Trachel, a buddy of mine with House Called Coach, he and I started this program, House Called Coach, and one of the things I was complaining about, I said, gee whiz, so-and-so takes a picture with Bill Gates and pays $200 for that, right. And then, a week later he's giving a PowerPoint presentation to a group and says, last week I had lunch with Bill Gates and this is what we talked about. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? So then Brian says, I'll do you one better, Scott, because we're in California. Well, at the time, Schwarzenegger was the governor. Right. He says, I drive in the same freeways as Governor Schwarzenegger. I mean, it's just that ridiculous point of association. And I say ridiculous not because it's not important, but because I think the truth is that if that's all you're striving for, in and of itself, it's meaningless.
Right. So back to the type of person that's most likely to get involved is someone like who might want to, quote unquote, associate with that celebrity, that guru, right? So who are the most qualified types of people that will succeed through a coach?
Well, good question, because I have a bee in my bonnet. I've got this thing about coaching. I think that it's a waste of money, and I'll say that with a capital W, to sign on for 6 months at $400 or $1,000 a month or whatever they cost, these coaching programs, for 30 minutes on the phone a month, and maybe some emails, and I know that there are people we both know that are involved in this, but I just really think there's no accountability.
Sure.
When you're on the phone with somebody coaching them, you have no idea where their attention is. You have no idea what their environment is like at that time.
Right.
See, so, for instance, with House Called Coach, we, like the doctors used to do, would make house calls. So we'll sleep on their couch, they'll put us up in a hotel, they'll fly us into town, or if it's local, we'll drive there. We want to go into their mud.
Right.
Because typically, somebody goes to a weekend seminar or a weekend like workshop, they get all blown out. I've been to these, you know, and they're great. But then when you come back home, 2 or 3 days later, you're back in the same old mud. So the reason House Call Coach, or the full immersion coaching experience methodology works is and something we'll talk about in future videos, I'm sure. But the reason that works is because we're going into your maybe safe, maybe supportive, but certainly your familiar environment, into your mud, getting all that confusion out of the air, and then getting it all laid out and organized.
That makes sense. So what are the, so you talked about full immersion. Describe full immersion.
Full immersion is, we go into your space, we're experiencing your space, you're experiencing having to confront all of the things that are not the way you want them to be, and handle them immediately.
Right.
And that's basically what it is. We jump in the deep end of the pool.
So it's like be all in or not.
Well, yeah, because isn't that what you're doing anyway? Isn't that what you're buying into in a coaching program?
Right.
Right? Now, it's comfortable to be on the phone for 30 minutes with somebody, and it's comfortable and cool to say, oh, so-and-so's coaching me. But really, at the end of those 6 months, what have you really effectively accomplished? And did you chart from the beginning to the end, I want to accomplish these 5 things, and I accomplished those 5 things.
Right. Well, with my private clients, I do that. So we map out exactly what it is we want to accomplish. Because generally, if someone just says, I just need help, well, what do you need help with? Right? I don't know that I can help them, because if they don't know, who knows when they'll know, right? Sometimes just asking specific questions, like one coaching member of mine said, I'm just unclear about what I want. And I said, if you saw a picture of what you wanted, would you know? And he said, yeah. So I had him do a vision board, right? Because I'm very visual, and when I see stuff, I go, I want that. Hey, I'd love to travel there. Hey, I'd like to eat that food or whatever. So I said, go to Romans, bookstore in Pasadena. Go buy like 10 magazines, 10 like nice magazines. Cut them out, put them on a board, and I said, every morning, go and just look at it and know what.
I'll do you one better. I'm so like individualizing.
Yeah.
I'm like not individualizing, into visualizing.
Right.
I'm so into that. But what's cool for me is to actually go physically to the big kind of house I want, or to the car dealership.
That's awesome.
And sit inside. Now, listen, the vision board house, I dig it. I've got one.
Yeah.
But I think it's very cool to actually go and touch and feel, get into the space of that thing you want.
I think that's great. Yeah, why not, right? Cool. Maybe that's what I'll call him up later today and tell him to do that. But he did it, and it made a difference, because now he goes, I get it. I think I really believe that I know what I'm going to do. So the problem with coaching, with a lot of the people that say, hey, I need private coaching, is they don't know what they want. So I can't help them get there unless, by doing the vision board or whatever. But after that, I'm kind of like, this may not be for you. Now, the people that I help most are the ones who said, I've been putting off these things, and I know I need to do them. I need someone to hold me accountable.
Well, that's it. And that's a point where someone can get to, whether they think they're disgusted, they're unhappy, they're being looked at like this by their significant others or friends and family.
Why don't you get a real job?
Yeah, why don't you get a real job and all this? I mean, the truth is, it takes a long time. There are no inherent or innate talents.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to become so proficient at something, Craig, that in order to express and display it as something now that we call talent, it just takes a long time. It's not a matter of, it's painful, it's not agony, it's just actively, enjoyably going through the process.
Right.
And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about, the process, the steps to the process, the key questions to ask yourself in this video series, and this is the maiden voyage, if you will, the first video of this series we're going to do on the deck, and in the Rotundo window bay, and anywhere else we happen to be when we get inspired to deliver information like this.
Absolutely. Well, so you and I did a full immersion coaching with one of my members, right? And let's just, without revealing anything, let's talk about where he started and how he finished the day. So when we went in, he's had some major happenings in his life. He's kind of like, was a little lost. Like, I have this.
Everybody's starting over.
Right, just, maiden voyage, right? New voyage to his new life. So how did we start and how did we end the day?
Well, we went in and we just talked about his goals. We talked about his desires and talk and had him answer a question. You know, to what end are you doing anything you do? I mean, really, it's kind of important. I mean, it seems a ridiculously simple question, but I think if we ask ourselves to what end, it's not to have a lot of money. You know, those destinations of a lot of money, a big house, a new car, a new spouse, a big watch, or whatever it is. I'm not wearing my big watch today. Anyway, whatever it is, you know, that isn't as important as what you're going to experience when you arrive there.
Yeah.
So, you know, we asked him that. We asked him, you know, what are his personal goals? What are his, you know, family goals? Then, what are his business goals? Because that's the business performance is what's gonna support all of these, you know, goals, these journeys he wants to go on.
Right.
And once we identified those, and he identified those, and we had a flip chart, and we put sticky notes
all over the wall.
All over the wall.
Yeah.
Everything we did from that point on, after that first hour, all the other 9 or 10 hours we spent there, and it was a full day.
Right.
And everything tied back to and was to satisfy the goals in either personal, family, or business.
Right. And you know what? One of the things that I love about the House Call Coach program, about the full immersion coaching, is it's like, you know, well, in order to achieve this result, I have to call so-and-so. Well, let's go. Call them on the phone right now.
Look, I was with a chiropractor last week. It was a Sunday.
Yeah.
We went from 3 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. It was a full afternoon and evening. And the funny thing was, we wanted to find out if there was a way he could create an experience from when they first came through the gates to the building complex he's in Pasadena, California. And we went out to the front gate, and I said, well, then where's your signage?
Right.
Nice building.
Yeah.
He says, well, you know, we're going to put a sign here. One of my clients, we're going to trade out, my patients, we're going to trade out. He's going to put a sign there. And I says, well, so when was that put on the table as to something you guys were going to do? Put the sign up on the outside wall on this busy street because it's a great location. He says, well, 18 months ago. 18 months ago? That's ridiculous.
Right.
Right? So by tomorrow, okay, tomorrow, he will have the sign up.
Right.
And things will be rolling along. But it's ridiculous. What we find, Craig, is this. Every time something isn't being done, we ask the client, is that a simple thing? And they say yes. Because what we found is simple things don't get done.
Right. Well, why is that? Why is that, right? So that was neat. And one of those things that we worked with the client that we went with was you asked a simple question. It's like, where's the money in what you do? Where's the money in what you know?
Right. I think one of the reasons that full emotion coaching experience works is because it's asking, we ask a series of key questions,
right?
Several times,
right?
And one of the questions is, I mean, if you would ask yourself, you know, where's the money in what you do? Well, a chiropractor might say chiropractic. An engineer might say engineering.
Right.
But there are many components to delivering alternative healthcare as an alternative healthcare provider. There's many different ways to practice engineering, whether it's replating fine metal surfaces to earth sciences, Jet Propulsion Laboratory not far from here. There's many ways to express your knowledge that way. But then it's like not just, and the next question is if that doesn't really shake anything loose, it's where's the money in what you know?
Right.
Well, I know. And then it just, so these key questions create a thought process that isn't normal.
And what we revealed, he'd never even thought about.
Well, no. and part of the cool thing was that he felt so empowered that he contributed. He wasn't just taking, and he wasn't just listening. He wasn't just sitting there, with a glazed stare. He was an integral part of this process.
Right.
And that's the other part of why this full immersion coaching works.
And and as part of that, after that meeting, one of those things when we asked, where's the money, what you know, we started working on a book a week later.
Right.
And that book is 99% done.
Yeah, because you sat with them on the phone or in person or something.
Yeah, we recorded it.
Well, and recorded it. So now we can transcribe. It.
Right.
And then get it to the editor, put it in the book form, get conversational about it, find his voice in that book, and then.
But it's definitely like the total epitome of dreams in action. I mean, you state what you really want or what you know or what you didn't even know you knew, and then a week later, he could, if he hadn't gone on a trip, he would have had the actual book like within a week.
Right.
And that's that's the ability. Deciding to do the simple things.
Right. Well, simple things don't get done.
I know.
Good.
The simple things. Well, we've been trying to do this for a while too.
Absolutely. So what's our next? We're going to do another video here pretty soon.
Yeah, we are going to do another video, and I'm not sure what the topic is, but let me just tell you how this came about. We saw each other last night, and we said, blah, 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 let's do it, see you at 10:30. I mean, that's how, and we're here.
Yeah, and 10:30, here we are, and you know what, we're gonna do this on a daily basis. So know that, this is gonna be a daily series of videos, because I think another problem, another issue, another whatever, is that not enough information is being doled out, it's dripped out.
Right.
I think that's not fair.
Right.
And it's not fair to me when I'm wanting something more than I'm getting from somebody who's dripping stuff out. So I'm just gonna deliver, we're gonna deliver the things that we would like to see, which is a constant daily upload of videos, and they'll be real time.
Yeah, and this isn't, this isn't going to take your whole day to listen to. This is stuff you can listen to on your way to work, if you've got a moment of break at work, or whatever, or if you're sitting working, whatever you're doing. You know, you can listen to it, get inspired, get the real stuff from a true entrepreneur, and, and it's good stuff.
Good. Well, we'll see you next time. Stay tuned for the next videos. Thanks, Craig.
This is On the Deck. Craig Valine, Scott Evans. See you next time.